guys, so today we got so our last night we got the head studs in, we got the gasket kit and everything like that. Our main little sponsor or people we do go with all of our gasket, it's called the domestic Japanese gaskets.
Just domestic gaskets. It's where we get all our little gaskets from, as far as all the plenum, valve cover gaskets, oil pan gaskets, rear main seal, cam gear seals.
Every single seal,
all that good
gasket.
stuff. So we got the oil pan all mated up last night, and then we just finished torquing it down this morning for the gasket to seal up. So right now we just have the head studs in, so we're about to torque those down literally as we speak. And then next off will just be the water pump, and we'll just be slowly moving on to just measuring the cam journals and all the buckets, make sure that the cams we have are still good, and then just moving on to getting the timing all situated, getting the oil pan all mounted up and mated, and then getting the clutch, flywheel, and trans situated for Terry's old girl. And then in about a couple of weeks or so we should be getting all the wiring, and then slowly moving on to getting his car all finalized. But like I said, right now we're just working and we're focusing on one motor, one build, instead of working on both our cars and just going all crazy. So we're just dealing with his 2J as we speak, like I said, dealing with customers, and then once we know his car's all done, we'll make the decision on what I'm gonna go with. I know I said in the last video I was gonna do the 3rd gen 1J, but we're still talking over just getting everything all situated. If I'm gonna do the 2nd gen out of like a JZX 100 or a JZX 110. Also maybe just thinking of doing 2J. So I'm still thinking, but right now main priority is Terry's motor. So like I said, we got everything all laid out, and slowly just get everything all mounted up and pieced up correctly. All right, so we got the head all torqued down. A very big thing to keep in mind is that when you do go with an MLS head gasket, a multi-layered steel, both surfaces, head and block, have to be immaculately clean and have to be straight and leveled, obviously, so no warpage in both materials. That being said, the head is torqued down to the 3-step torquing process. First one's to 25, and then the last two are at 90-degree angles, and so
90-degree turns, baby.
So next we'll be putting on the water pump, and while we're putting on the water pump, we need to let the buckets sit overnight since they are hydraulic buckets. So we will set up water bottles for each ones, and then let the lifters sit in oil so they can all pump out all the air, so there's not going to be any valve chatter as far as when the motor does start. And then we do have to go get some assembly lube. So when we put the cams on the buckets, this motor's coming together pretty nice. Ooh, that new water pump though. We're getting it all torqued down. We got the rear half on. Just gonna put the thermostat gasket on in the housing, and then basically the water side's good to go. We're getting that turbo manifold in, hopefully next week.
It's coming in today.
Oh, today?
It's coming in today.
Oh, it's coming in today, boys. We're gonna be able to put this turbo on. Oh, oh yeah, when it's raining, there's always sunshine somewhere in the house. So yeah, this 2J is gonna be boosting soon with the snail.
That's right,
What you putting on there, buddy?
Front main seal, sonny.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is that important?
Yes, it holds all the oil back.
For real?
For real, dude.
Damn.
Without this, all the oil would be coming out.
That's whack. Well, it's a good thing you fixed that one, huh?
That's mandatory.
That's a big Mando.
That's right.
Man, she's looking good. I can't wait till the cams and the timing belts are all on. One thing I actually did forget to mention, you guys, the belt pulley was stuck on there pretty good, so your boy had to make a little pulley to take that gear off. So we got that all situated. You can see that was stuck on there. Bent my bar, but got it all pulled out, so we'll just clean it all out. Yeah, it was straight.
Just like Jack, he was straight.
Yeah. Now I'm not with all these broken boosted motors. I'm just broken to pieces now.
That's right.
That gear is stuck on there. You're not really gonna be able to take that oil pump off. So we were battling that.
Throw some penetrating lube, you know.
We were battling with that yesterday, but just giving you guys a little insight on what we were doing.
Just give us a little tech tip too. You already know.
Other than that,
penetrating lube does help.
Yeah, it actually does.
All right, guys. So we're just putting on the timing gear back on. So I mean, yeah, you can get a socket on here, a big old socket like a 34, 36. But I mean, if you have a light enough mallet, and if you lubricate the shaft before you put it on, it should just slide right on.
Yeah.
So let's go test it out, guys. So it's just sliding right on.
But you don't want to go too hard, obviously, because you will mess up your crank bearings, you know, your thrust bearings, all that stuff. So you don't want
just barely tapping.
So you don't want to take a ball peen to it or whatnot. But
the mallet, you know, it's soft. So
also, you have to really make sure not to mess up these teeth right here. The sensors are gonna have to pick that up. That's what's gonna basically be like the trigger wheel. So gotta be careful with taking that pulley off. Other than that, she's all good to go, as I keep on saying. So we'll just be measuring now the top of the head, just the cams and the buckets, getting those all lubricated, and just slowly bringing everything back together. We're not really in a big rush to throw it in the car yet, just because we're still waiting on the transmission and the clutch and flywheel assembly. So for right now, we're going through all the little looks, making sure that the motor is A1 perfect. So when we dump it in, all we got to worry about is basically the transmission problem. So
ooh, pretty freaking hype. Guess what just came in? The manifold for the JZ.
you already know, baby.
Yeah.
Oh! Woo!
Alright, first things first, I gotta give a shout out to my wife. She already watches these and she gives the best support. Number one, these are equal length headers. Great for exhaust scavenging and
This is a T3, T4 setup.
yep, T3, T4.
With a V-band external wastegate. So
It's a 44 millimeter.
Are we using the same wastegate, or we'll be upgrading the wastegate?
Oh, we'll be upgrading it
To a
to
what?
a teal.
Oh,
Teal, baby.
tail, baby.
Yo.
So we just came back from a job, so the bag is
Let's throw this on, boys.
so the Jay-Z's all in a bag. But it came in while we were on the job, the same days we were just saying.
Yes, customers do come first. So I mean, even when we're building our race cars up, we get a call. We're on call. We gotta go. All right, boys. As if you guys don't know, the JZ side, the exhaust side's on the right side. Usually it's on the left side, but the Toyotas and the JZs, they did it on the right side. So, boom.
Man, now I gotta put the turbo on and see how that all looks up. Man, so she's coming together step by step. Then we'll just be worried about the whole plenum side, getting that all situated. But like I said, we just got the manifold today, so we'll be mounting everything up on the hot side, and then dealing with the cams and timing, honestly. So that's gonna be our main concern.
Oh, I'm super hyped.
Yeah, this thing is coming together. This is gonna be nice. So we're gonna keep this kind of like pretty simple, as we were saying. How much boost are you even gonna be planning on running for right now?
For right now, probably between 12 to 15 pounds. You know, just to start out. I'm not trying to look for too high of numbers, just reliability.
Yeah, we don't want to already start switching over to bigger injectors. We know we can kind of max out what's kind of stock or just upgrade to a little bit bigger ones. We don't want to go too crazy on the plenum side as far as, you know, upgrading on what needs to bring in more airflow. So right now we just want to get kind of like the boosted 2JZ VVTi up and running in the 40s, and then later down the road start worrying about upgrades, because once this is up and running, now we got to start switching over to my car and then getting that all situated. Terry's buttoning some little things on the motor. I'm just getting the buckets all bled, so they're just sitting in oil right now. We like to bleed them with the oil we use. So we're just using a 40 weight right now. So after that, I'll just go and I'll just press in the buckets a little bit just to get all the air out, and then just finish up little things.
There, gates, tensioner, timing belt tensioner. When she's all ready to go, we can tighten her on up, snug her on up.
I'm just waiting for the buckets.
Wait for those buckets while I go to AutoZone real quick again to get the tensioner.
Yeah, we're like replacing those because those are pretty damn hard to get closed. So if you're dealing with a timing belt, that's usually
impossible.
It's not even that though. It's just when you're dealing with timing as far as on your head and lower end, rather just spend the extra money so we know we have a good tension on that belt.
Oh, another tech tip. Always when you're assembling an engine, you get assembly lube.
Yup. So like I said, we're putting those all on there. Good to go.
And what does it eliminate? Dry starts. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yee-yee.
Alright, so we had a little hiccup. The timing tensioner will not be until tomorrow. So we put on the turbo manifold. Terry's getting we're gonna have a return for the turbo, and then we'll be putting on the oil pan. It also gives us a chance for the buckets to get all the fluids in them, so they're not gonna be chattering. And then we'll just be flipping on over. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be getting all the timing situated. And then after that, like I said, we'll just be waiting for the clutch pressure plate and transmission to come on in. And man, this old girl's gonna start breathing the life. Didn't have to weld her on.
How do y'all think? I did a great old job or what, dude? This thing ain't gonna be leaking or moving anywhere.
Just had a little nut and bolt section on the JZ. So the 2JZGE-VVTi oil pans have that mounted in there, but they're not the 2JZGE-T. So you can just drill it right out, and we just put a little fancy nut and bolt for a -10 fitting, which we have. Where's your?
It's right here.
There it is. Yeah. So that'll go on there. That'll pick all the way up, and then that'll go right from the turbo.
Just like so. Boom, boom, boom. And it's gonna be sideways. It's gonna be sideways like that.
Go right
Go on
there.
the turb ski.
Turbo's right down there. I know we have it upside down.
Turb ski.
But the turbo will sit right here, and then the oil will go, and then we'll have a heat shield, obviously, on the wastegate. So yeah, just flow all the way to the side right there. Be away from all the wastegate, and then we'll have all heat shielding. Man, it's looking good.
Just for a little mock-up so everyone can see it too. This is just a mock-up for you guys, but it's gonna look something like this.
Yeah, we'll probably be fancy this time and get like steel braided line.
Yeah, stainless steel braided line.
We'll be all la-di-da.
We're not gonna be using this ugly.
Yeah. And the heat and that stuff is the stainless steel braided line is way better for the heat as far as where this oil line is going to be
We're just mocking everything up. The oil pan's not on there, right?
Like I said, we're waiting for the transmission, so we're not really on a crunch zone yet. So we're just mocking everything up, making sure everything fits correctly.
She's good to blow.
We got Dr. Terry over here working on the JZ. He's working on the undercarriage. Just getting the second oil pan all nice and mated up. The first oil pan's all dried overnight, so she's all torqued down. The second oil pan just has the first layer of gasket maker on it. So we just have it snugged down, and then you let it seal for about 4 hours. We let it go a little bit longer than that, so the seal becomes hard. And then now you tighten it down, and now you have what's called that gasket. So we're getting that all done, and then later we'll be going on and getting the tensioner and getting the timing all situated. And then the motor will be good for everything else.
Seen already?
Like I said, the buckets have been chilling.
All night, last night.
All night light. So they're all good to go. And I was sitting there bleeding them last night, so all the airs are all out. All the air bubbles are all out, so she's good to go. And like I said, the timing tensioner will be getting that all in, and then the motor will be set. So Terry's out here painting the valve covers. It's kind of like an off-white silver, just a little high temp enamel paint. So Terry's gonna throw a little bit of his wall clear effects on there to give it a little bit of pop. But we're just getting things kind of buttoned up on the 2J. We're about to put the plenum side on, get the valve cover. Like I said, he will be running a whole front timing cover as well, so it'll be all cleaned up. But the rest now is just getting the wiring all handled, and then just getting the clutch and the trans situated, and then she'll be ready to drop in the car. We had to deal with a little bit of turbo clocking. As you can see, it is a little tight, but we got that all figured out. And then obviously getting the oil feed and then the oil return all situated. Other than that, it's coming together surprisingly smooth. So we get ready for this 2J. Oh yeah, got that plenum side on. So those valve covers are being painted right now. The dog. Then she'll be slapped on, and then we can put the whole upper intake manifold on, the throttle body, and get that all situated. As you guys also realize, the turbo sits low because on the 2JZGE-Ts, the non-turbos, the plenum goes right across.
The GEs.
So we're trying to put this turbo as low as possible so we can get that pipe under, so we're not running it colder.
Right here.
Yeah. So that should be nice, and then we'll just get the oil drain all situated as far as what we need length for a stainless steel braid line, and then the oil feed. Obviously, we're just coming over to this side on the oil feed for the oil pressure. So she's looking mighty good. As you can see, he's got that front timing cover on. It's just OEM, right? It's just a little OEM 2J, right?
Just OEM.
Yeah, just OEM. Man, I'm excited for her. Woo! Got those valve covers on. That blue gasket. How much horsepower did I add at, dude?
About an extra 50.
Oh my, 50? Oh my goodness.
Just like them light and pulleys.
I better hope you got these rings, bro. Man, she's looking fresh. That's basically going to be the end of the video on Terry's motor for 2019 season. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. This is just the building stage. Next will just obviously be the wiring and dumping the motor into the car, and you guys will follow us along on that route. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. It's ready.